All right, so we have 4 Airbnb properties, and I'm going to break down the numbers for you guys for last month.
We need to talk about Airbnb and other short-term rentals, and some of y'all are really not going to like this. I live in the Adirondacks. In the last decade, this area has been having real problems with a housing shortage because wealthy people from other areas are buying up properties here as second and third homes and either only staying in them for a few weeks out of the year or renting them out as short-term rentals on sites like Airbnb.
For people wondering why Native Hawaiians are begging people to stop moving to Hawaii, in the house I'm in right now, my grandmother bought this back in 1955 or so for $25,000. This is what it's currently at, from $25,000 in 1955 to over $1.8 million in 2021. The median income of somebody right now in Hawaii is $35,000.
NPR actually picked a story up about our local housing crisis nationally recently. And what did they have to say about the cause? Short-term rentals like Airbnb. The problem is, without affordable housing, we have no future for providing a suitable living for the workforce.
Home prices are surging nationwide to levels never seen before, and as so many important stories these days, the word about the dangers that poses to local communities is being spread the most helpfully on TikTok. I'm Caroline Johnson. Thanks for being here.
Not to mention that Native Hawaiians have the highest houselessness rate in Hawaii. And I say houseless instead of homeless because we are not homeless. Hawaii is our home. We just can't afford to live here anymore.
These creators and local communities ravaged by increasing real estate prices are spreading accessible and crucial information about why this is actually a bad sign of things to come. Since the beginning of the pandemic, real estate values have surged by almost 25% nationwide, which has created more than $1 trillion in new wealth for pre-existing homeowners. Many of those homeowners are now using that extra money to buy investment properties and second homes, further driving up prices while first-time buyers increasingly struggle to afford anything at all. Homeowners on average are now reported to have as much as 80 times greater net worth than renters, who continue to suffer disproportionately from some of the pandemic's worst effects, like high rates of unemployment, high rates of eviction, and a historic increase in the cost of living. In a recent article in the Washington Post, a real estate broker in Idaho mentions that the question is no longer whether one of her homes would sell, but for exactly how much and how quickly. All cash offers within minutes of homes being listed, tens of thousands of dollars above asking price. How can a middle or working class first-time homebuyer compete? All of this comes at the same time as new reports are released about the connections between evictions and COVID incidence and mortality rates, like this one just released from the American Journal of Epidemiology that shows that eviction moratoriums that expired in states that lifted the moratorium had an increase of 430,000 COVID cases and 10,000 more deaths than states that kept their moratoriums in place. As these eviction moratoriums expire nationwide, the housing crisis, already incredibly tragic as these TikTokers show, will lead to devastating amounts of new unhoused populations across the country. The number one leading cause of homelessness is a lack of affordable housing. It's been proven and studied time and time again. And the best solution to homelessness is access to permanent, supportive housing, a reliable place to live and sleep. There's no way to spin it. Airbnb tycoons and investors gobbling up housing in towns and cities and even rural communities are to blame for the mass homelessness already occurring in the United States. Airbnb started out as a way to make travel more affordable and accessible, but it's turned into a way in which wealthy homeowners who can afford to take risks can increase their passive income, and I think it has to stop. And plus, are Airbnbs even really affordable for vacations anymore? It seems like hotels and motels are marginally cheaper these days. But what do you think? Have you found a good deal on Airbnb recently? How have short-term rentals changed the nature of your neighborhood? Let me know in the comments. And as always, you can follow me on all platforms at Caro Johnson 917.